Welcome back to the channel. We have got our daily NBA predictions here for December 21st. And I don't know who makes the NBA schedule, but there are 12 more games today, just like there were 2 days ago. And then, of course, yesterday we had 3 games. Sunday we have another 3 games schedule. And then Monday, I think everyone in the association plays. So I get it, there are no games on Christmas Eve, but it's like, who makes these schedules for the NBA? It really doesn't make sense. Obviously, we have a big day coming up on Christmas on Wednesday, and then we've got, most of the association playing the day after on Thursday. It's just really weird because we take, we go for this in-season tournament thing and teams play literally twice in the span of, a week and a half, and now we gotta cram 5 games for each team, and, I completely butchered that, my goodness. 3 games per team in 5 days. It's just, I don't know who made the scheduling. I really don't. But here we go. We've got 12 games. We're going to try to keep it somewhat short. Why? My fault, nobody else's. But I'm recording this at 4:40 in the morning. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get up to watch SMU Penn State tomorrow, but I will probably be watching it half asleep from my bed because that game starts in 4 hours. Well, you're watching this when that game's just starting at 9 a.m., but I don't know if I'll be awake. I'm going to try. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. Every time I say that, though, these videos go long, so this video is probably going to be 30 minutes long, but we'll see. And folks, if you haven't done yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Again, we're doing this all the way through the postseason and beyond. An hour ago, we posted our college basketball best bets here on the channel as well, so go check that video out. It is linked in the description down below. Go make sure to check out our NFL predictions posted earlier this week, our college football playoff predictions, of course, SMU Penn State starting right now, but later today, again, Clemson versus Ohio State, Tennessee versus Texas and Austin. And make sure, again, to get your bets in, obviously, by watching these videos. We've full insight in all the college football bowl games, and the rest of the schedule is here. So make sure to stay on the lookout, obviously, if you're looking for the videos on December 24th, because again, no NBA, no college basketball on Christmas Eve. We've got you covered with our weekly college football predictions and our weekly NFL predictions as well. Again, that's on the 24th of December. Now let's get into every single NBA game being played today. And here we go. We start off in Sacramento, California, the 3 p.m. game between the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers. Give me the Lakers. We just saw this basketball game. Nothing really changes. I get it. LeBron's questionable. AD's questionable. They've had a day off. They're going to play. They should play. This team does not play tomorrow. They play again on Monday at home against the Detroit Pistons. I get the Pistons are better than what they were last season, but it's a game the Lakers are expected to win. So they should really try to make it back-to-back here against Sacramento. I don't understand why the line's 6.5. I really don't. I mean, is there something that the books know about LeBron that I don't know about today? Is LeBron not playing? Because the way I see it, you can keep your 6.5 points. I'll take Lakers plus 180. Anthony Davis finally had a good game against Domantas Sabonis. If he does that again, the Kings are screwed. Guys, I mentioned this the other day when we picked that original Lakers-Kings game, and I'm going to say it again. The Lakers have been severely underwhelming this season. I'm not going to deny that. But the Sacramento Kings have been 10 times worse. Guys, the Kings added more talent than the Lakers in this offseason. The Lakers only added J.J. Redick and Bronny James. The Kings got bona fide star DeMar DeRozan. They have a 13-15 record. They are 2 games out the play-in. And the Lakers, for as bad as they are, or look right now, they're 15-12. They are the 7th seed and tied with the Denver Nuggets for the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Obviously, there's no catching Mr. Aura, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the OKC Thunder, but, the Lakers could easily find themselves like in the 3 seed this year. I'm just saying, if they can just keep winning the games they're supposed to win, I think they're back on the right track. With LeBron appears fully healthy, they should beat Sacramento. Nothing changes from this first game. AD, I get, is a game-time decision. LeBron and AD are going to play this basketball game. I feel pretty confident in saying so. They only got one more game until Christmas. Like, they get a day off tomorrow. They play a game on the 23rd, day off on the 24th. Christmas on the 25th, they go to Golden State to play the Warriors. A game they should win. Now, I'm getting flashbacks of the last time they played the Warriors on Christmas. LeBron got injured in, 2018? Oh, that was bad. That was the Lonzo year, obviously, with the first year without Anthony Davis. If LeBron better not get hurt on Christmas again, because that's what screwed him that year. They missed the playoffs that year in 18. They'll be fine. Regardless, they're going to beat the Kings. Guys, the Kings just aren't that good. I keep saying it all year long. Sacramento's not good. They don't have this wizardry, they don't have this magical home court advantage in Sacramento with their damn beam. They don't have that anymore. Guys, the Kings' magic is over. They've ran out of pixie dust. All right? Give me the Los Angeles Lakers. The Kings just aren't all that this season. They can't get it figured out with DeRozan. And if AD's dominating Sabonis now, good luck. Give me the Los Angeles Lakers to beat the Sacramento Kings. Keep your damn points. Give me plus 180 for the Lakers on the road to make it back-to-back against Sacramento. All right, now let's move on to the Battle of Florida. We've got the Miami Heat taking on the Orlando Magic. The Heat are coming off a back-to-back, obviously. They played last night against the OKC Thunder. We took the Thunder in that basketball game, and obviously that's what happened. We had a 3-0 day. Now on the spreads on the money line, spreads went 2-1 yesterday, but it is what it is. Give me Orlando at home. Miami just played yesterday. It was a game that Jimmy Butler left in the first quarter and did not return with an illness. If he left that game yesterday with an illness, I would not anticipate him to play the day after. I know, again, Jimmy has not been the best guy for the Heat this season. He's been good, but obviously it has been more of Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo's team. But again, Jimmy not being on the court does definitely hurt Miami. And I get it, Orlando, again, is without their top two players. But guys, these Magic players find ways to win basketball games. They find ways to compete, whether it be Mo Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. These guys find ways to compete. I understand they have lost 3 games in a row, but they lost to Milwaukee, the Knicks, and the Thunder. 3 of the elite teams in the National Basketball Association. The Magic will be fine. I still like what this team has. They play great defense, and they should be able to, again, make up somewhat for the losses they have in this basketball game. On top of that, again, Jimmy Butler probably will not play. And again, this game is in Orlando, Florida. So I like the Magic to win this in-state Florida rivalry game here. It's not really that big of a rivalry, but I like Orlando to win the Battle of Florida. They should be able to go out here and beat the Miami Heat. The spread is 3.5. I still like Orlando to take it. Give me the Magic to cover and to win against the Heat. Next up, we move on to Atlanta, Georgia. We've got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. If you've been watching, you know we really like Atlanta here on the channel. They are underdogs here against Memphis, who currently is the 2 seed, I do believe. Yes, they're the 2 seed in the Western Conference. That's fine. Give me Atlanta. I know Atlanta, again, coming off a loss the other night in San Antonio against the Spurs. Tough game. San Antonio's good. They are, right? San Antonio's going to score. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama, an elite player in this league. It's tough to beat San Antonio at times, right? It just is. They'll be fine, though, here against the Grizzlies. Back home are the Hawks. They're going to be home all the way until the 29th, where they have to go up to Canada to play the Raptors, so they have 4 straight home games here. Sick and tired of the Trae Young disrespect. I just am. Now, Atlanta, they're going to trade Clint Capella, and I get it. Capella hasn't been the most, consistent and productive guy this season for the Hawks. But it feels awfully odd, the timing of this, because now Onyeka Okongwu, again, is out for 4 games. I get it, again, they're not going to trade Capella until Onyeka fully comes back, and I feel like what the Hawks are planning on doing, especially because they're kind of been running Larry Nance a little bit as that small ball center. I assume, again, Onyeka will get the starting minutes. Capella obviously gets moved, and Larry Nance is going to have to play the small ball 5 for this Hawks team, or they do, again, look to find another center. It's fine. Larry Nance playing the 5 in the second rotation for this Hawks team kind of fits the brand of basketball Atlanta plays, obviously. But I do think it's interesting. Again, they're going to move on from Capella, but it does make sense because it feels like, again, Atlanta for a little bit has been trying to find a way to get Onyeka more and more involved, and again, eventually, which it seems like the time is now, replace Clint Capella. Again, that's kind of where we're at for them. I do think they beat Memphis. This should be a very high-scoring game that, not much defense is being played, and obviously that's just how both these teams play. High-tempo offense, not much defense. Obviously, Memphis is coming off that shellacking that they had against the Golden State Warriors, where the Warriors lost 144-93. The Grizz were great. The Warriors were horrible, too. I mean, hell, Draymond and Curry combined for 2 points. Curry had 2 of them. It was just a very poor night for Golden State. We will get to Golden State in just a couple minutes here. And again, I've been predicting the Warriors and the Houston Rockets fall off for quite some time now, and I think we might be starting to get there. These 2 fraudulent teams in the elite of the Western Conference are going to start to fall off a cliff. Memphis is good. I'm not going to deny that. I just think, again, them going on the road to Atlanta feels like a tough spot. Their last game on the road, they lost against the Lakers. Again, this Hawks team beats good teams. They find ways to beat really good teams, and it's because of Trae Young. Not all the way because of his scoring, obviously. Trae's still averaging 21.5 points per game, but it's because of what he does setting guys up on his team. Again, Trae is the leading assist getter right now in the association with 12.5, had 16 in their last game. I know it was a loss, but still, I really like Atlanta. Again, this is a team that's able to come back from big deficits like we saw in the San Antonio game. I know they did not end up winning that game against the Spurs, but this is just a really tough Hawks team to beat. I like Atlanta to win this game at home as home dogs against the Memphis Grizzlies. Next up, we move on to Brooklyn, New York for the Brooklyn Nets versus the Utah Jazz. Just one of these games. Give me the Brooklyn Nets. I was kind of just feeding through the narrative. All right, Brooklyn is the losing team now. They don't care. Dennis Schroeder's gone. Obviously, Dennis Schroeder has looked horrible in the minimal time he's been with Golden State, but everyone looked horrible at the Warriors in their last game against the Grizzlies. So maybe, again, we can't really hate on Schroeder because of that one performance. But I kind of thought, you know what, all right, the Nets trade Schroeder. This team's just going to start, they're just going to, fall apart. They're going to just start it like, all right, we suck. We're not going to. Again, we're in no position to win this season, which they still aren't. But Cameron Johnson's an absolute baller, right? This is a guy in Cameron Johnson who takes a bunch of shots every game for Brooklyn. He gets the line. He was 11 for 12 in his free throw attempts in that game on the road in Toronto. I still, though, wonder, how this team's going to find, consistent points beyond Cameron Johnson, who, again, 33 points is a lot for Cam Johnson. I like Cameron Johnson a lot, but that's a big night for him. They only had 3 other double-digit scorers in their win over the Raptors. It was Ben Simmons with 12, Shake Milton off the bench with 12, and Noah Clowney off the bench with 11. Everyone else is held in single digits. Sure, that's good enough to beat Toronto, but how consistent is that going to be? And obviously, this team's going to get rid of Cam Thomas as soon as he gets healthy, and just the Nets, again, they're always going to be in a continuous tank. I went over this more in depth the last time they played, but it still makes sense. What is the future here in Brooklyn? If Cam Thomas, who's 23, 24 years old, 25 years old, is in the future, what is potentially the future here in Brooklyn? Now, luckily for them tonight, they're taking on the Utah Jazz, who are coming off a big victory over the Detroit Pistons. I'm not going to deny how big of a victory that is. Colin Sexton with 30 points. Jordan Clarkson obviously goes and squares up with Ron Holland, so I believe Clarkson is suspended for this game, if I'm not mistaken. I know he got ejected, him and Holland did. But is Clarkson eligible to play this game? No, he is. Okay, so he didn't get suspended for just, threatening to fight Ron Holland. Third time Clarkson squared up with someone on a court, which is cool. But they're still the Jazz, guys. They're still the Jazz. I like some of their pieces on this team. I'm not going to lie, I do. I think Laurie has really good nights sometimes. Colin Sexton has good nights. John Collins, Walker Kessler, but too inconsistent. Give me the Nets. They are at home, and Brooklyn is coming off a victory. Cameron Johnson's really good. And I think, again, sure, consistently, we can't trust Brooklyn to win games, but against teams like the Jazz, okay, fine. Give me Brooklyn. Next up, let's go to Cleveland, Ohio. We've got the Cleveland Cavaliers at home against the Philadelphia 76ers. So the Sixers were pretty big favorites yesterday. I think they were getting, 10.5, 11.5. Charlotte did cover. Okay, barely. I think it was 10.5, and they lost the game, did the Hornets by 10 points. So a very tough cover, but yes, Charlotte covered yesterday against Philadelphia. Now Philadelphia finds themselves on the other side of the equation, obviously, as big underdogs. I don't think they cover this here against the Cleveland Cavaliers, a Cavs team that is 15-1 this year in the state of Ohio. They are a really good home team. Their only loss at home all season is that game to Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. We saw what they did last night to the Bucks. I didn't think they were going to completely put belt to ass against the Bucks like they did, but that's exactly what happened. They won the game by 23 points. Again, Cleveland is just that good. This is a very good all-around basketball team. Donovan Mitchell, again, their leading scorer, but everyone else in the starting lineup, again, produces in the manner that they need them to produce. Philadelphia will likely be without Joel Embiid. I know he was back against the Hornets. They still did not cover. Embiid is out. He's not going to play doubleheaders. So now we're just left with Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. Now, I saw an NBA Centil tweet. I'll pull it up real quick just because I thought it was really funny. I think it was Centil. I'll pull it up real quick. And it just, I think it was them. It showed Paul George's stat line last night, which is, I don't know what to say about Paul George. No, it wasn't sentient, but it's fine. This works too. I was looking for another tweet, but hold on. Here we go. Guys, this is what Paul George is doing on a nice nightly basis for the not Indiana Hoosiers. Why did I say that? I just saw this in the corner. For the Philadelphia 76ers. I saw a tweet that said, that gave Paul George's stat line at the bottom instead of these fire emojis. It just said, got the dub though, and that's all that matters. But legitimately, this is what Paul George is doing on a nightly basis for the Sixers. I don't know if he actually had 10 turnovers. I think that might be a joke. But the 1 for 8 and the 1 for 5 from the 3-point line is real. So this is a guy that the Sixers have to rely on to win basketball games, especially when Joel Embiid's out. I will fact check if he actually had 10 turnovers. I don't think he actually did. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. He had 2. So yeah, but legitimately, Paul George had, 5 points all game long? I mean, that's not cutting it. The field goal percentage and the 3-point percentage was real from that tweet. It's just the 10 turnovers was a joke, obviously. But PG's, I hate to say it, Paul George is past his prime, man. And it's not like, again, Paul George, it's not like he's going to be unable to play, and he's still going to have his nights. But I think he's starting to get on that, James Harden trajectory, which, again, James Harden, still a very good player in this league. And obviously, again, I feel like this is kind of, I honestly think I'm hating on James Harden a little bit by saying this. I'm not intending to, but I think, again, this is bad on, I think it's kind of disrespectful to Harden that I'm saying that Paul George is kind of on the James Harden level this season, because Harden hasn't been all that bad. I don't want to say he's on a Russ level, obviously, because, again, Russ can still play, but is he still, again, a valuable starter in this league? No, he comes off the bench most of the time for Denver, but still, I just don't think PG's all that elite anymore. Just don't think he is. Obviously, again, the knee injury earlier this season killed him. It sucked, and yeah, Paul George dropped 33 the other night, but it's just way too inconsistent. He's the third option on this team. And I'll say when Jared McCain is back, which will be for a while, I think he's the 4th best scorer on this team. It's brutal. PG's 34, man. He's going to turn 35 during the season at the end of the year. Can the Sixers really rely on that? No. Give me the Cavaliers to win this basketball game, and they will cover the 11.5 points as well. No Embiid means no victories for Philadelphia. Next up, we move on to Chicago, Illinois, to the United Center. We have got the Boston Celtics taking on the Chicago Bulls. I was wrong about the last game. I thought Boston was going to be able to cover that line. What happens? They lose outright at home. That just goes to show the National Basketball Association sometimes, guys. Because that's one that no one could predict. Sure, Bulls to cover, maybe. Bulls to win? What? That's just the NBA. I don't know. They play 82 games for a reason, right? I don't know. Give me Chicago to cover. This is the least they could do for us in this basketball game. Seriously, it's the least they could do. Zach LaVine's a dog. LaVine with 36 points in that win over Boston in the TD Garden on Thursday. Vucevic, 14 boards. That's how Chicago's going to beat you, right? They're going to outscore you. They're going to outpace you. They are just kind of a Walmart version of both the Hawks and the Pacers when both those teams are at their best. Obviously not shooting-wise, but scoring-wise and efficiency-wise, yes, that's what the Bulls are. They don't play defense, but they can, again, put some points on you and try to outpace you during the game, right? Chicago has found themselves currently as the 9 seed in the Eastern Conference. Somehow, some way, they have the same record as the Indiana Pacers. Both those teams were 10-15 at a point this season. They are both 3-15 now. Good for them. Sorry, 13-15. My goodness. I don't think they beat Boston here. I'd be very surprised if they beat Boston back-to-back games. Tatum's still really good, obviously. It's just they had an off night. They just did. It happens. It happens to even elite teams in this league like Boston, who's 21-6. It is what it is. Again, it's just the NBA. I know they have to go on the road to Chicago. That's why I do think, again, the Bulls cover this line. But taking Chicago to win back-to-back games against the Celtics is just kind of rough. If you think the Bulls are going to win 2 in a row, plus 450, I'm going to obviously not bet the minus 700. But in terms of the spread, sure, I don't mind plus 11.5 here for the Chicago Bulls at home against the Boston Celtics. Next up, we go on to Milwaukee. Oh, God. The Washington Wizards are somehow, they've got 4 wins now. Yeah, the Hornets. Oh, the Hornets. 2 nights ago, yeah, the Washington Wizards beat the Charlotte Hornets by 9 points at home. But now here's the thing, though. Washington has to go back on the road and take on the Bucks. I know the Bucks got dismantled last night against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Dame was out. I don't think Dame's going to play this Wizards game. Not like it matters, though. Again, they don't need to rush Lillard back for this game. Everyone has to play on the 23rd, right? I think the Bucks have a game. Yeah, they have to go to Chicago, and I assume they play on Christmas. They don't? Why aren't the Bucks on Christmas? We really got to sit through the Sixers and Celtics? I mean, who am I kidding? I'm going to watch the NFL over this. But, like, I'll be honest, the only NBA games I'm going to watch are San Antonio Knicks and then Lakers Warriors. And then, Nuggets Suns, because there's going to be nothing else on. But, like, it's going to be college basketball, though. I don't know. Why are we couldn't have done Bucks Celtics? We had to do Philly Celtics? Hell, give me Pacers Celtics. Give me Knicks Celtics. Oh, the Knicks get the morning game. But, like, damn, really? The Sixers? I get it. They're supposed to be better at the start of the year. But still, Philly? That sucks. I wish we could flex those games, honestly. Don't know why I got on that. Actually, I know why I got on that, because, yeah, the Bucks are playing now. They're playing the Wizards. The Wizards still suck. They beat Charlotte, but Charlotte isn't very good either. Now, the Wizards, shout out to them. They get a lot of their guys back, right? Keyshawn George is back. Corey Kispert's back. Their only real notable guy that's injured now. They went from, 7 injuries down to 1. The only injury is probably their best guy still, though, in Kyle Kuzma. I get it. Poole isn't bad. The pool party, right? His little Celly, I kid you not, that's his 3-point celebration now. No, the Wizards are just the Wizards still, though, right? They got to go on the road to Milwaukee. I will consider now taking the Wizards as big underdogs at home, just because I think there might be value in that now. Now they have shown capability of beating teams like the Nuggets, like the Hornets, but still they've been able to win those games. And I think, again, the Wizards against these low-level teams, there might start to be some value for Washington at home, just because they might be able to shock you. But consistently on the road, oh, hell no, we're not taking the Wizards. Give me Milwaukee to take care of business. They are getting, 11.5 points at home, 12.5 points, that's fine. Minus 800, don't play that. But if you want the minus 12.5, honestly, there have been worse spots for the Wizards as big underdogs. I think the Bucks, again, should be able to cover this line. I think this game should be over midway through the third quarter, if not earlier. Next up, we move on to Minnesota. Yeah, the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Golden State Warriors. I've been calling for it for a while now, and it has finally happened. The Warriors regression. Guys, the Warriors are now 14-12. Okay, this is a team that is now in 10th place in the Western Conference. All right, they are below the Los Angeles Lakers, who started off the season good, but then obviously fell off a damn cliff. But now, yes, the Warriors are behind Los Angeles. This was a Warriors team at one point in the season that was 12-4. They were 12-4 this year, and now they're 14-12. They have lost. Math, come on now. 8 out their last 10. I think I did that right. Yes, I did. They've lost 8 of 10. I think. Yes, their only victories are the Houston Rockets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're both at home. I swear, if the Indiana Pacers don't beat this team on Monday, I'm considering going to that game. If the Pacers don't take care of the Warriors on Monday, I'm not going to be happy. The Pacers are on the right track, right? They're on the right track. They just beat Phoenix on the road. They're going to go to Sacramento tomorrow and win. And they better go to Golden State on Monday and win that game as well. And the Lakers better take care of business on Christmas as well. They better. But guys, Golden State has won 2 games out of their last 10. They've lost to San Antonio, Brooklyn, OKC, Phoenix, Denver, Minnesota, Houston. Got robbed, but still Houston, Dallas, Memphis. They give up so many points. And the problem, again, like that Memphis game, and it's not a consistent Curry problem, but that was rough. 2 points out of Steph Curry is crazy. I don't want to make the LeBron comparison, but I will. If LeBron James did that, that is being talked about over and over and over again on Twitter, every social media platform, and every single sports talk show. That's the only thing they're talking about. LeBron James has 2 points in a 50-point loss. I'm just saying, that's all they talk about. Where's that same thing with Curry? I'm not hating on Steph Curry at all. I don't mind Steph Curry, but I'm just saying, where's that same energy with Steph? LeBron's on an off year and is still carrying his team, and sure, Steph will do that too. But if LeBron had a 2-point game, it is game over. That's all they talk about in the media. LeBron has the games where he scores 10 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. They talk about him like his career's over. He's playing through an injury too. Come on now. I don't know. But I'm not trusting the Warriors to win basketball games anymore. Again, I've been saying the Warriors and the Rockets are very fraudulent. They are playing much better than their records are. Their records are way beyond where they should be. and they're going to regress. We're still kind of waiting on the Houston regression, but the Rockets just have a really easy schedule coming up, so just hold on with that Rockets regression. It's going to happen eventually. Right now, they just play some really, crappy bottom feeder type teams. The Warriors, though, they are falling off a cliff. The Warriors are not making the play-in. They're just not. It's probably going to be Sacramento. I think Sacramento probably outpaces the Spurs throughout the year. I think Sacramento finally figures it out, but the Warriors in the playoffs this season, I just don't think so. Minnesota's the better team. I know, again, they lost in Cat's return the other night. We did get that one right. The Knicks going to Minnesota and winning. But again, the Timberwolves are the better team. I think they've split against the Warriors this year. I think they're just 1-1. Have they played 3 times? I feel like they played 3 times. No, they just played twice. Both of them are in Golden State. Timberwolves split those games in Minnesota. The Timberwolves should take care of business. They are just the all-around better team. Give me Minnesota at home here against the Golden State Warriors. Let's go on to our next one here. Again, we've got a lot of games, the New Orleans Pelicans and the New York Knicks. We fade the Pelicans at all costs. Again, they are looking at trading CJ McCollum. That is only going to hurt New Orleans more. This is a 5-23 basketball team. I will keep this one, as short as possible. The Pelicans just aren't that good. 8.5 points feels like highway robbery. I was thinking when I saw this line, I'm like, who's hurt on the Knicks? Nobody. And I was thinking, maybe Brandon Ingram's back. Maybe Zion's back already. Obviously not, but maybe they're back. No Ingram, no Zion. Why is this line only 8.5? Why? I get it. The Pelicans are coming off a closer game to the Houston Rockets where they only lost by 20 points. It's just that Suns win in the beginning of the month. Guys, this team has won 1 game since November 16th. They're 5-23. It is a G League team, sure. Now they're going to move on from McCollum. Pelicans are horrible. Guys, the Knicks just went to Minnesota and boat raced that team and beat them by 25 points. What are they going to do to the Pelicans? New Orleans can't score. They don't play defense. Trey Murphy's leading this team in points on some nights. Pelicans aren't good at basketball. The Knicks are just better. Give me New York to cover the 8.5 and win fairly easily. Something's up. Why is this line so short? I don't know. Next up, we go on to Dallas, Texas, where we've got the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, guys. Let's cook up some devil magic. Let's cook it up. Give me the Clippers. They just beat the Mavericks in their last game. They went to Dallas and won, so here we go. Give me the Clips. Again, I don't know what Steve Ballmer's got cooking up here at this new Los Angeles Clippers team, but they find ways to win, and somehow, some way, the Clippers, guys, I know divisions don't really matter in basketball, but the Los Angeles Clippers lead the Pacific Division right now in the NBA. A division with LeBron and the Lakers, KD and the Suns, Curry and the Warriors, and De'Aaron Fox and the Kings. The Clippers are in first place. By a half a game, but the Clippers are in first place. With Norman Powell. I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't know how they do it. And whenever I accept, because I go through this a lot with the Clippers, right? I go through cycles where I'm like, oh, this team just isn't that good. They let me down one night. Now they're going to fall off. The shooting can only stay hot for so long. And then they win a big one like they did their last game against the Mavs. And then I'm like, all right, let's just fully get back on the Clippers. And they completely embarrass themselves like they did a couple weeks ago at home against the Timberwolves, where they were down by 40 points in the first quarter. I don't understand the Clippers. They're really weird. They're a very streaky team. Let's hope the streakiness continues. And they parlay their first victory in Dallas with a second victory in Dallas. They're underdogs. Now, if Luka was playing this game, I'd probably pick the Mavs. But no Luka Doncic? Give me the Clippers then. That's the way I see this one, I'll be honest, right? The first game, again, was won by Los Angeles, 118-95. Klay Thompson led this team in scoring. I'm sorry, I like Klay, kind of, but if Klay at this age and at this skill is leading your team in points, you have a problem. No Luka, no victory. The Clippers, again, their devil magic and their shooting should find a way to win. Harden's turning back the clock, and Norman Powell is somehow one of the best shooters in the NBA. Give me Los Angeles as dogs to cover the 2.5 points as well on the road in Dallas. Next up, we go on to San Antonio, Texas. The San Antonio Spurs host the Portland Trailblazers. The Trailblazers are not good at basketball. Sure, they beat the Nuggets, but the Nuggets are so weird. Shout out to Anfernee Simons' game winner over Russ. Russ did not play horrible defense on that last possession. It was just a great play by Anfernee Simons. The Trailblazers, this team will not win 2 games in a row. They are incapable of winning two games in a row. They did it earlier in the year, back-to-back games because of the Timberwolves. No, they're not winning back-to-back. They pulled off a lucky win out their ass again over the Nuggets because that's just how the association works sometimes. Just random teams beat good teams. Now they have to go on the road, though, and play the Spurs, the same team they blew that big lead against in the fourth quarter the other week. And Victor Wembanyama is just a freak of nature. Don't know. He's special, man. Wemby's just that good. 42 points in the overtime victory over the Hawks the other night. He leads their team in points pretty much every single night on a daily basis. Wemby's just that good. And the Spurs are a really good team as well. Again, they have now the front runner to win the Rookie of the Year. Obviously, we're talking about Stephon Castle. I like the pieces they put around Wembanyama, and I just don't like the Trailblazers that much this season. I've said it time in and time out. Portland always screws us when we do bet on them. I'm not betting on them here. There will come a day, though, we will side with the Trailblazers, and I've said it before, the next time the Blazers really cost us, they are banned. So you know what? December 26th, they take on the Jazz again at home. They better not get blown out in back-to-back games in the Moda Center in Portland against the Jazz, because the last time they played Utah at home, they lost the game by 50 points. So hope it doesn't happen back-to-back games, but for now, we think Portland goes on the road to San Antonio and gets completely demolished in Charles Barkley's favorite city. Next up, we go on to our final game of the video. We go to the Phoenix Suns taking on the Detroit Pistons. The Suns are weird, but again, we did predict their loss in their last game at home to the Indiana Pacers. Again, Indiana's a team that I think, again, I've been saying it all year long, but now this is the time I think they finally figured it out. Detroit's coming off a home loss to Utah. You know, I would consider picking them actually to find a way to beat Phoenix without Devin Booker in this game, but you know what? They're coming off a loss to the Jazz at home, so I can't trust the Pistons. So I will actually take Phoenix to find a way to cover this 5.5 points. Why? Kevin Durant. Bradley Beal, not that great. He's serviceable, but not, again, worth the money, honestly. Personally, I don't think that they're giving him. Now, we'll see. Again, no D-Book. It is Devin Booker's first game he's missing all season. So it's the first time Bradley Beal has played without Devin Booker on the Phoenix Suns. What will Bradley Beal do without D-Book in the lineup? Because D-Book, I know they're different players, but D-Book is just a better Bradley Beal. He just does. He does everything better than Beal at this point in Beal's career compared to what D-Book's doing at this point of his career. So what will Bradley Beal do when there is no Devin Booker on the court? That's what I'm interested to see in this basketball game. But as a whole, even without Devin Booker, the Suns are still the better team. Nurkic is playing in this game. KD, obviously, they still got their, role player shooters coming off the bench as well. Guys who can fill in like Royce O'Neal, like Grayson Allen, like Josh Okogie, like Ryan Dunn. These guys are just streaky off the bench. For Detroit, they're still the Pistons. Yes, they're better this season, but 11-17, I don't trust in Detroit going on the road to beat the Suns, especially a Pistons team that just lost at home in their last game against the damn Utah Jazz. Can't trust Detroit. Give me Phoenix to win at home and to cover the 5.5 points as well. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here on December 21st. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.